Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and it feels it's only been a day since I recorded a video. But it feels like forever ago because just things are just I can't even put it into words. They're going so fast. So, we completed a couple challenges and missions that we've been talking about, and that has really advanced the account along quite a long ways. You'll see, like, if you look here, you can see I'm already a pretty big chunk, and now the last time I recorded, I was like 4 away from this, but I managed to do all that. By the way, important life lesson here for you guys. Like, not raid lesson, I should say. Don't make the same mistake I did. Pay attention. So Relic Keeper. Now, normally, when you go to ascend, or sorry, fuse a champion, you level that champion up to 1 level greater than they come and ascend them. Meaning, like if you look at Scored, these are 3-star rares that you have to level up to 4-star and then fully ascend to 4 stars, right? That's what you have to do in order to fuse the epic. You don't have to do that for Justiciar. They only have to be 3 stars. So I went ahead and 4-starred all of the food and ascended to 4-star all of the food before I looked and realized. So a little bit of overkill. They still work, by the way. If they're greater than the minimum requirements, you can still use them. So I was able to fuse Justiciar, as you can see here. But damn. What a waste of resources on my part. So make sure you're paying attention to what the requirements actually are before diving in. And it makes sense. It makes sense why the requirements are lower. I fused 4 rares to get a rare. Like, you know, that was a lot of resources to get a rare. But either way, I did it for the mission. I got the mission done. I don't care about the champion. Not interested. And now here we are. So we win 10 5 or 6-star artifacts from stage 10 or higher. I'm currently doing that at the highest difficulty that I can farm Ice Golem right now, which is stage 13. Taking a little bit of time, but we're making progress on the mission nonetheless. We do want to get that done relatively quickly because the Spirit Keep opens up tonight. So this is where things start to get drawn out, right? You want to stay on curve if you can. So if I complete the Ice Golem here, that means that reset tonight, I can do the Spirit Keep and hopefully knock out this mission, right? And then we go do Dragon as soon as possible. Then we do Arena. This one I'm actually ready to go. I just have to level up 1 piece of gear on Kale, and I would get that completed. Fire Knight stage 10 or higher, or sorry, stage 7 or higher of Fire Knight. I think I can do that. I haven't touched it in a while. Yeah, I can already do higher than stage 7, so we're good there. Fire Knight. So sorry. Yeah, Fire Knight. Then the Force Keep. So again, if possible, and it's not always possible, but if possible, I really want to churn these out quickly because Force Keep, I'm willing to bet, is Friday. Wrong thing. I always do that when I want to get to these. I always click there. Yeah, Force Keep is Friday. So if I can get all of those missions done before Friday, that would be a big deal. Now, the hardest part is going to be 75 champions in Classic Arena, but everything else is pretty easy to do. And we want to get that Force Keep done. Then we would wait until Sunday and do the Void Keep in a perfect world, by the way. This is all perfect world. Spider, I already know I can easily do that one. We've done all these. 5 million damage on a single difficulty, already doing that, right? So we're on great track there. Then winning a 5 or 6-star amulet, that might take a little bit of time. And winning 100 silver or gold medals in Classic Arena may take a little bit of time as well. Mostly because I'm bouncing back and forth between silver and gold, which I don't know if this counts both, but, you know, it is what it is. 3 champions with 6 level 16 artifacts is going to be a little harder. But yeah, this is what we're working towards, right? And you'll see, like, I made really good progress. That, by the way, got another sacred shards. We have 3 sacred shards right now on the account that are ready to use. Not While these are great legendaries that I would absolutely love to get, I am not going to use these outside of a 2x opportunity. So, yeah, it's been going pretty well. As far as the challenges again, we're getting into some tricky spots, right? Now, some of these challenges are meant to take a very long time. Upgrade a Magic Champion to rank 6, a Spirit, a Force, right? Fully ascend a rank 6 champion. Now, I did some of these already ahead of time, which is frustrating, right? I do wish that these would be retroactive in some of them are, by the way. Unfortunately, the ascending one isn't fully upgraded champion skills. We've done that as well. In fact, how close am I? Not close enough. Unfortunately, I don't have any more rare books to go ahead and try and do that on a rare. So again, I did jump the gun on some of these, but that's not terrible. Like, these are things we want to be doing, right? And then ultimately winning a campaign battle using 4 champions of level 60. So we're not there yet. The artifact one, a lot of these I could do right now. In fact, no. Okay. So this one I will only be able to do once I actually get other accessories for these factions. The fact that I don't have an amulet for either of them prevents me from doing that. But yeah, so we're doing that. Dungeons, again, these are Force and Spirit, right? So we're just waiting for those dungeons to become active again, and then we'll move up to the next stage in that challenge. And these ones are much longer, more difficult ones. 3 affinity bonuses to level 5, right? Winning arena gold battles, etc. Now, we have taken a bit of a backward step on the account that I may need to rectify, and that's going to be with Faction Guardians. So because I had to fuse Justiciar, I did lose my Faction Guardians for the Dark Elves. So Kael has 10% less HP. I would really like to actually just fill this out if possible. And so what I'm thinking about doing, is maybe going back to Durham Forest and farming in Durham Forest, trying to get more of the spirit hosts that I could put in there. I have not gotten there on Nightmare yet. Nightmare's taken a bit of a back seat because we're not really able, just with the gear limitations and everything, we're not really able to gear up champions the way that I want. Yeah, and there are some affinities in here. I was going to say, I wonder if I could farm on Nightmare at this difficulty with just Kael, but I think Kael would have a hard time on Nightmare, because on Nightmare, these Force affinity... Oh, actually, no, there's less Force affinity on Nightmare because they swap them out for Cold Hearts, which would be pretty easy. Or swap them out for 1 Cold Heart. So, I don't know. It's possible that I could farm here. Like, this would be good affinity-wise, but 153 level versus 59. To put that in perspective, where I'm farming 12-3 Brutal consistently, they're only level 84. Ugh. Yeah, that's a big jump. And I'm weaker now because I don't have those advantages. But that is something to consider for you guys. If you're struggling a little bit and you'd like your Kael to be stronger, I do recommend, you got to be careful with it. You don't want to be wasteful of, it's not energy efficient to be down there farming at that difficulty. But if you can get a couple spirit hosts in here and get yourself some stats, it could be really, really helpful to your starter champion Kael. So I do recommend that as an option for you. Okay, now let's talk champions. Your comments swayed me. A lot of you in the comments were saying that Venomage would be better choice than Tayrel. You made some fair arguments, and ultimately I did go with Venomage, as you can see here. I do still like Tayrel. You'll see I did try to put books in Tayrel. Well, sorry, I fully booked Venomage during this Clan v Clan. And again, I did that before that challenge, so kind of a mistake on my part. But Tayrel, I will probably... Like, there are a lot of other decreased defense champions that come to mind that could take this spot. You know, you're talking an Ugo would be good here. What I really liked about Tayrel, and I want to be clear about what I like about Tayrel, I like this full turn meter depletion right here. This can really help you on Fire Knight. Yes, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, not ideal, but you're bringing a 2x hitter on the A1, you are bringing a decreased defense, and a full turn meter reduction very early on in this game. I do believe that is powerful. But that's not to say that Venomage is weak. Now, Venomage, now that, especially with this heal reduction bonus, does bring the poisons, brings that same decreased defense and attack, however, single target, right? And then you do get poison activation on the A1. So I love Venomage. I think Venomage is great. The fact that I pulled Venomage this early is huge for the account. It's one of the main reasons I'm progressing as well as I am. But I do think everyone likes to say Tayrel is power crept. I think that's absolutely true, but we're not at that point yet, right? Like, we're very early game. I don't have anybody that can decrease turn meter right now, with the except, well, I mean, not speak too soon. Okay. I knew I was going to say Armiger. I didn't know Life Taker had turn meter reduction, and I did not know Prosecutor had turn meter reduction. Each hit has a 20% chance decreasing. So 2x hitter that has a very low chance of decreasing turn meter by 10%. This doesn't make sense. This is a new rare in the game, and I get that rares are not supposed to be crazy good. But you have Armiger, who just does it. Do the same thing here. You know, make him... You don't have to give him 30%. Like, you could say each hit has a 60% chance of doing 10 turn meter by 15%. And so there's a chance that he could do what Armiger does, while also bringing decreased speed AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. Like, that would... And then you have a triple hitter here that could also place heal reduction, would make him very good for early game Fire Knight. I feel like the rares in this game just are not good enough for the early game content where you'd want them to be good. Like, you're just not... Like, the rares just never feel viable, you know? It feels like... And it's crazy to say that, like, I would take an Armiger over this guy, you know, when he has... I don't know. I just wish that the rares were a little bit more appealing early game. Outside of... I mean, obviously, Cold Heart is full game. Like, you'll use her forever. Outside of her... You know, yes, Apothecary is decent early game, but I still don't think that I would level him, because I feel like he gets replaced too quickly at this point. It's so easy to get epics now. And that's something that I don't think people take into consideration enough, is that it's very easy to get epics, because you do get a lot of ancient shards thrown at you. We're able to progress our accounts very quickly, and if you include the summon pool events, where we have epics in here that we can get 2 epics per, you know, essentially, you could look at it and say that every summon pool event, you're getting 2 free sacred shards. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a viable way, or it's definitely a way to look at it. And in many cases, you're getting a better chance of getting good epics, because they don't usually put really bad epics in those summon pools. So, with epics being so obtainable these days, rares feel plus in epic empowerment, rares just feel buried now, in my opinion. And the only reason that I do the starter champion, this is kind of an epic in disguise. Like I feel like I feel safe making the argument that this is kind of like an epic uh kit. Um not a great epic, not an end game epic or anything, but a decent enough kit that compares to some epics, right? Whereas we just looked at, rares, they just don't match up. So, I'd like to see a few more slightly powerful rares. Um, I know. I wonder if this might be worth it. And the reason I say that is this heal. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, which I think is too high. I would love to see this on a 3-turn. This one does become a 3-turn cooldown. And if I was to get a blessing for him, it would make sense. Because I could potentially upgrade those. But what I really like this heal. 15% of this champion's max HP, build them high HP. I just wish it wasn't a 4-turn cooldown. That's the kicker on it. If this was a 3-turn cooldown, then I think you could use Avir Alchemage to get rid of Lifesteal Gear. But I don't think it's worth it solely because of that 4-turn cooldown. Okay. So yes, I did go with Venomage, and happy so far. It's fine. My argument for Tayrel was, and I still think I'll take Tayrel to 50, but my argument was Tayrel to 50 could, AoE decrease defense. That's wave content, that's arena content, that's Doom Tower content, which I'm able to, already attempt Doom Tower rooms, and I have done some of them. Right? Just trying to get extra resources, paying attention to what I can and cannot do. I don't believe that Kayle could solo this, which is why I haven't done it, but we could try it. She actually has gear on her, so I'll put her in there. Not really in any rush to do secret rooms right now, but he might be able to do it. I don't know. I think the next wave is going to be too difficult for him. I don't know. He's healing up. She'll die. These guys smack harder than the Cold Hearts, I think. Ooh. Oh, very close. Very, very close. I may have to fiddle around with that a little bit more, but yeah, that's one that we could potentially do. And then this one was kind of tough, but I haven't done it since rebuilding, and so I may try them again. I'll probably do that off camera. So what's next for me? Like I said, missions is the main thing that I'm focused on right now. I will probably spend some gems. Because I will get some of those gems back as well for rewards in some of these. And gems have been flowing in very quickly. We also do have the mine fully leveled, right? Um, and our damage is pretty solid right now. So on hard, we are very solidly 2-keying hard. I did do brutal yesterday with the extra keys that I'm getting from clan versus clan. So you'll see I get 2 keys here. So using those extra keys, I did do some brutal. Didn't get very high in brutal. It was also a negative affinity for me, which wasn't great. But we are about 2,000 points away from getting some 5-star speed gear, legendary. So that's pretty good. Plus 360 more clan gold. Because of the short term of this account, like I'm not going to run this account forever. This account is to encourage you guys and to show you guys what you can do with Ninja and how you should be progressing an early game account. So I've decided that I am not going to go for the fragments here at all on this account. But I want to be clear to you guys. If this is your first time playing, if this is your main account and you plan to take the or your main free-to-play account and you plan to take this account long term, I do recommend getting these champion fragments. However, I'm going for a much more short-term game. Okay, that is what I said. So it will be more beneficial to me to prioritize other areas. You'll see I've got some energy that I used from here. And I will be honest with you guys, on my free-to-play account where I did go for both of these, let me scroll over to the free-to-play very quickly. The main free-to-play. Here it is. This is the main free-to-play. You'll see, like, I still have Yannicka waiting to be pulled. Now, your account may be different. In fact, on this account, I have everything on this account as magic. I would love to have a Void Affinity or Spirit Affinity champion right now, especially a legendary. Now, it takes a long time to get these. You're looking at, it's 5 weeks, or sorry, 5 per week, right? So, hold on, is my math? There's no way I'm right about that. 20 weeks, is that right? Yeah, yeah, yep. So 20 weeks. It's about 4 months. No, 5. Yeah, 4 times. I don't know why I had to put that in the calculator. I knew that one. Yeah. All right. I don't know. But ignore my math. My brain just broke. I literally just stared at my screen because my brain had to reboot. All right. So I think I'm gonna be going for some of this like gear, because that's just what I really, really need right now. Obviously, keeping a little bit in reserve for the energy. I could also do the silver, but I'm getting silver at a decent enough rate right now that I'm not too concerned about it. But I think getting that gear will help me out a little bit. Uh, the 2-piece set, I mean, I am getting some speed bonus from it, as well as a big chunk of crit damage, which would actually really, really help me out if I could get maybe better stats on some stuff too. I would really love to get away from the lifesteal gear. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet. This piece I just got is a direct upgrade to this guy. So we are going to go ahead and take this guy to 12. And that is a direct upgrade. So we get that crit rate too. And that'll free me up to potentially get some more crit damage somewhere else in this. But I haven't looked at the gear that I've gained in a minute, but that's also a ton more attack than what I had from this one. Well, 72 more attack, but also 1,000 more HP. And of course, the accuracy boost there too was pretty good. So glad I found that. Glad I looked and saw that piece sitting there. I am curious. I wonder if it might be better on Ninja though. Ninja could use the crit rate for sure. But he would lose crit rate if I did that. So, yeah, we're better off here for now with Ninja. And then this piece is perfectly fine for Kale. I also would not regret taking this to 16. A little bit of resistance, not necessarily what we're looking for. Does that not count for that challenge? Or no, it's a mission that I'm not at yet. Yeah, right? Yeah, okay. So this mission is completed ahead of time, which I knew it could be. That's why I did that one. And we get a little bit of bonus for artifact enhancement right now as well, which is nice. But we're not going for that. We've gotten everything that we need. We got the epic that we wanted. As far as both getting built, don't know when that happens. I feel like I'm in a tough spot with him. I would really need to build him when I have a way to get away from lifesteal gear long term. Whether that's a healer or something else, I don't know. But right now, or a leech, if I could get a leech, which I don't think I have a leech on the account. At least not one. I think that's viable. Yeah, so we would really want to get a leech. If we could get a leech, that would be a big boost. Then I could potentially get away from the lifesteal gear. But for right now, we're just looking ahead. We should have, not this weekend, but the weekend after, a 2x on Sacreds. So we'll probably go pull those Sacreds then and see what we get. As far as the plan with Heffrack, it's just a weird spot right now with Heffrack. I would love to be able to ascend him to 3 stars, which, you know, I am close to doing. Maybe I do that. I'm going to go ahead and take him to 3 stars, because that's what activates this one ability of his. So I can continue to run him slow, but I wonder... Let's do this. Let's experiment with this. We're at 27 minutes. A little... Ooh, we deranked quite a bit. What's my defense team? Okay. I haven't been doing... We've been focused in a lot of different areas of the game, so let's get caught up here. But what if I use Heffrack? Because I do think Heffrack is going to do more damage. Now, he is not fully crit capped, right? He's only 74%. And for what I'm trying to do, I would want him to be crit capped. But let's try this. Let's see. Nah, he's too squishy. What I'm trying to do is get them to kill my Spirit Host. So I'm looking to see... But he's not that much tankier than my Spirit Host is the problem. And I'm not even convinced that he hits harder than Kale either. That's what I'm talking about. That free counterattack, or free use of the A3 rather, could be pretty or not could be, is pretty strong. I do wonder if I get some better pieces of Killstroke gear that might be able to tip the scales for me, right? If I was to get him in some Killstroke, that might help quite a bit. So we'll see. Right now, just double Cruel. No speed on the boots. I would want speed on the boots. I'm not going for one of those endgame builds per se, but I may consider building him and seeing if he can do more damage than my Kale. Unbooked. He's got 2,500 attack. Kale has 25. Yeah, so he's got the same. I don't know if he hits harder right now or not. He does ignore some defense with it, so he probably does technically. I'll have to experiment a little bit with him and of course see what kind of gear we get from the clan shop. We're about to get a big influx of clan gold. We are now... Oh, sorry, my math was way wrong earlier. I'm sure you guys are already screaming at me. Yeah, still 36,000 points, but we're going to get that pretty quickly. Once we do that, I'm going to use that, try to see what that speed gear is, of course, see if that improves any of my champions, and then, you know, we'll go from there. But video is going a little long. I wanted to give you guys an update, so I did go with Venom Mage, and that has proven to be very effective in Clan Boss. Big damage reduction. We're doing way more per key than we were. We were at about 6 million a key on hard, and now we're about 7 million. So a little bit of a gain there. A little under 7, but there's variance there. And so I don't know that we're going to be ready for Brutal just yet, but we're getting close. I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of thinking that a 4-key Brutal might be worth it, if I'm honest. I would prefer a 3-key Brutal to still also get a 1-key hard, if possible. But again, this is all 4-star gear, and the 5-star gear that I can get is either common, uncommon, or rare. Versus on Brutal, it's rare, epic, or legendary 5-star gear. So I do think doing a 4-key Brutal might be a little bit better for me. I just don't know that I'm there yet, right? We're talking about needing to do 6 million a key on Brutal. I'm barely doing 6 million a key on hard. So we just got to keep working up those champions right now, and we'll get there. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support my channel. We are getting very, very close to 1,400 subscribers, which is kind of a personal goal of mine. One of my friends is at 14.5, or sorry, 1,450, I guess. Subscribe. I want to beat my friend and his subscriber count. So the closer we get to 1,400, the closer I am. So yeah, he's at like 1.4 even, but I think he's only like 1.37 something. I guess I could just look it up. I'm sitting here talking about it. But yeah, if I can pass my friend on his subscriber count, okay, so he's at 1.5. So he's at 15. He's at yeah. So they say YouTube, he's 1.5, but he's 1.47, right? So that's 1,470 some subscribers. So if we get to 1,400, I'm very close to beating him, and I would love to hold that over his head and be like, ho, I beat you, right? So please help me do that. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.